Alright, so today we're going to be looking at a blowback unit for the Shadow2, and this is from 5KU, or it's branded under the Atlas Custom Works name in most American places, but it's the 5KU manufactured blowback unit. And we're going to compare this to both the CL Project unit and then also the stock unit as well. So I'm going to go ahead and disassemble my gun real quick so you can see the process for installing this. Alright. So obviously it's back here is where it is. You're going to pop out the recoil system, possibly. Usually this is actually not that bad. Okay, there it goes. And the only thing holding this in is this screw in the back here. That's it. There's the recoil spring, or not recoil, the nozzle spring, the nozzle. And I'm going to remove the piston. Oh, there's also this little steel like facade thing that goes on there. This is very necessary. All right, and we have the piston head removed, and now we're just left with the unit by itself. And I'm going to set everything a little bit further away so we can weigh the difference between all these different units. Now, the CL Project one is made out of 70 series aluminum. The 5KU version is made out of 60 series aluminum. And the stock one is made out of some sort of a heavy pot metal. And then price difference, the CL Project one is $50, which is very expensive. The 5KU version is about $10, which is really inexpensive. And honestly, as long as everything goes well, like there'll be no reason to buy this 70 series $50 unit when you can buy a 60 series $10 unit. 60 series is much, it's not as good as 70 series aluminum, but it should be just fine. It just is not quite as good. So we're gonna go ahead and open this up. Right, and they do come with the screws for going in the back of the unit, connecting it to the slide. And it looks like, let's see here. Yeah. Okay, so they are definitely different in the way that they go together. So this one has a little slot that mates with the back here. You definitely will not be able to see that, I don't think. And that will be what makes sure it stays at the correct direction. This one has these little posts here, which will do a similar sort of thing, and they mate up with the back. And these are just loose until you put them in the slide and attach this screw through the slide in the back, which is kind of annoying, but that is how it is. Whereas this, the stock one, is one big solid chunk. Now, let's go ahead and weigh them. Right, so the stock one is at 28 grams. The CL Project one that I've been using, this is the 70 series. This is 8 grams. And the 5KU version is, looks like it's also 8 grams. So basically the same weight. Obviously, there's a big difference between these two aluminum ones and the stock one. And with the way that this gun is, if you're going to be using green gas, you want to cut as much of it as possible. So the first thing you're going to want to do is replace the stock one with an aluminum one. Now, you can go ahead and get to the install of this. We got our piston. My gun's a little bit gross inside, but it should be fine. Now, got some grease on there, and this just will like hug around that screw on the top there, and it doesn't really matter which way it goes on. Then we need the nozzle. And now this is weird because it sort of all floats around until you get it all the way together. Get our nozzle spring. And then we need a little insert sleeve here. One thing that will be nice is this one is black on the outside, so it's going to hide itself very well. The other one is gold on the inside, so when you have it installed, you see this gold coming out the side here, which is kind of not cool if the entire rest of the gun is all black. Like I'm happy with fancy colors if they're hidden on the inside with this gun, but if they're visible on the outside, that's not preferable for me. Right, let's actually, we'll get this done again. So everything floats around, which is definitely annoying. Okay, yeah, much less visible. And it does do the thing, so we're good there. And then you do want to make sure that there is always grease right here, because that's very important for how the hammer operates. If you don't have grease there, it's going to be very sluggish and gross. Okay, barrel. Okay, we got the recoil system in now and the threads back together. And as you can see, there's no gold poking through, which is nice. And that right here where my thumb is where the gold would be poking through. And we can go ahead and put it back together. Try fire it a little bit, and then I'll go test it off camera. Yeah, it does work. I'm gonna go test this off camera a bunch, and I will come back in a little bit. All right, guys, I got some bad news. I will show you first, though, that right here this is good news. This is where on the Seal Project one, that's gold. You can see gold in there, which is kind of annoying, just from the side. But as you can see, it's black. You don't see the gold, which is nice. Now, for the bad news is there is some issue going on. It's not causing any like functional issues right now, but I think maybe you'll be able to tell that right here, it's like bent upwards. I don't know if you can see. Hopefully you can see. I'm not sure if it was like that before, but it is like that now. And you can see that there is some wear happening. It is like shaving off the corner of that. And as of right now, it functions flawlessly. There's no issue with it actually functioning, but I don't know if that's going to cause issues later on down the line, or if it'll just snap and break. I'm not sure about that. So that is a little bit concerning. And it is very like flexible. I don't know if you can see, I can move the whole thing. And I'm pretty sure that's not how the Seal Project one was before. So maybe the $50 is definitely worth it. I'm gonna go put the Seal Project one back in, and we'll see if we can bend it like we can bend this, because that's crazy. All right, yeah, big difference. This is solid. There's no bending going on at all. Now it does stick up a tiny bit, but it's not anywhere near like the other one was, and that shouldn't be causing any sort of issues, I don't believe, at least. But the bigger thing is it doesn't bend at all, whereas the other one is super bendy. Look at how bendy that is. I can bend it with my fingers. So yeah, the big price difference, the $40, is definitely necessary. Maybe it's not worth it, but it is definitely necessary, I believe, at this point. Hopefully they design a 7075 version in the future that's much stronger, because 5KU does do some 7075 stuff. Like they have high kappa slides and high kappa blowback units made out of 7075, which they could carry over to this, and that might fix it, because 7075 is a lot stronger than 60. And just by changing the material could negate that amount of flex. But as of right now, that's how it stands. A Seal Project is still the best blowback unit. Okay, I thought I was done with this review, but then I decided to put this into my old stock slide, so I could have a sort of upgraded like backup slide, and this does not fit in the stock slide, which is crazy. So it's probably gonna be very hard to see in there, but there's like a curve inside of here that is way different than the curve that's on like the fillet on here, or the fillet on here. It's incompatible. So if I try to put this blowback unit in, it gets stuck like that. So instead of how on my Seal Project slide, the back lined up fine, but the front was sticking out, this one, the back doesn't even line up at all. No matter how hard I try to press it in, it does not line up with the screw hole at the back at all. So that is, it's definitely unfortunate. So definitely don't buy this unless you want a cheap upgrade for your expensive slide, because this is not going to go in the stock slide, which is unfortunate. And that's kind of, in my eyes, the only reason to get this at this point would be for the stock slide, because if you have the expensive slide, there's no reason to cheap out on this. But if you have a stock slide, you might as well cheap out on this, but in this case it doesn't even work. So definitely don't get this for your stock slide. And that is that. Have a nice day. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if this video was useful for you. And make sure you check out the link down below. That is a link to our Discord server, and you are welcome to join. All right, have a nice day.